What's up, everyone? Hope you're having a great week. Hope you've been knocking it out of the park this past week. I just want to take a couple minutes and just talk about some of the things I've heard, like in my spirit, over the past 30 days or so. And I'm assuming the Spirit talks to you the same way He talks to me. And when you're really communing with Him, you start to hear things kind of drop in your spirit. Sometimes they're questions, sometimes they're statements. But here's just a couple that I've actually heard, like I said, over the past 30 days or so. And the first one I wrote down is like, it is not us who fulfill the word, but God fulfills the word through us. That's truly exciting. That kind of ties in with Mark 4, about the seed, planting the seed, get up, go throughout your day. You don't know how it grows, but it's growing. As long as you meditating on it, confessing it, and just keep it in the forefront of your mind, and just expect it to go from the blade to the ear to the full head. And then you can actually bring the sickle and harvest it. Another statement I love is that I didn't collect your debt, I paid it. I love that. When I hear that statement, it makes me think about, when you walk into department stores or whatever, and their doors are closing, and they say, all sales are final, no refunds. And that's kind of how I look at this. When I hear the phrase, I paid it, all sales are final, all transactions are done. And that's exactly how Jesus did. It's done. Another statement was, faith answers every symptom and every doubt now, not later. I love that, because that kind of rolls into the next statement where it says, you are never going to go anywhere where faith hasn't already been. I want you to start thinking about that. If faith has been everywhere that you will ever go, then really it's just something that He's already accustomed to accomplishing on your behalf. Sometimes look, everyone can tie their shoes. You don't have to sit there and watch a YouTube video or do something along those lines or find out how to tie a shoe. You know how to do it. You don't have to think about it. You just do it. Start to picture that when you start to find a promise in the Word and it starts to create that hope, you say, you know what? Faith already knows how to bring this to pass. You start to expect faith to bring that to pass so He can really do what He was created to do, and that's bringing those promises to pass so you can enjoy those promises in your life and then demonstrate God's goodness and His love to this world so we can continue to draw them in. Another statement is this. Actually, it's a question. It says, are you implementing His word enough? Great question. Sometimes I feel like I'm rocking and rolling. Sometimes I'm like, man, it's been a rough week. And I'm assuming you felt the same. So just if you're not, you just got to ask yourself, why am I not? What's been really taking my time? What distractions have I been paying attention to? And really kind of just say, okay, let's get back on track. No big deal. I think of this way too, is that, like when you're driving down the freeway, normally you have like 3 lanes of freeway. And I think about this, like, when you became born again, it's like you moved from the berm to like the slow lane. You've moved in there. And now for you to move from the slow lane to the middle lane, there has to be some changes and adjustments that you need to make, because you start to realize, man, this kingdom of God is awesome. But for it to truly be manifested in my life, I got to make some adjustments and changes on my side so I can kind of meet up to where this word says I'm supposed to be. I mean, that's what Jesus paid for. And then you go from the middle lane to the fast lane. And there's more decisions that you have to make and transitions that you may have to do. But at the end of the day is that we want God's best. So we want to be in the sense like the fast lane on the freeway. That's where we want to be. So we got to think about what decisions, what am I actually doing with my time day in and day out? And is it really kind of pushing me or directing me or assisting me to get into that fast lane of God's best? Another thing is this too. It pleases me, so God said, it pleases me when you believe me. Remember, I do not change, circumstances change, but not me. When you begin to look at circumstances, you will begin to feel uneasy as if you have begun to consider opposite of me. And it made me think, when you're on a cliff or a tall building and you're on the edge, you're kind of over there and you're like, you get there's a little tense right there, because you're just like, hey, I got to watch my step here, because if I fall off, I'm falling off. And that's what kind of spoke to me when I actually heard that statement. I was like, okay, now I kind of can recognize, am I walking into peace, or am I starting to walk in that tension or that uneasiness? And then I love this too. It says, 1 Samuel 1748 says, it's when David was running towards Goliath. And then I heard this, are you fully persuaded that the Lord would keep that which He hath committed to you? To me, He's committed His word, committed that truth to me. Am I fully persuaded that that belongs to me and has the right to manifest into my life? And am I giving it the right to manifest in my life? Am I stepping into the alignment? Like I said, am I moving into the fast lane so then I can allow that word or that promise to truly manifest into my life. So those are a couple thoughts that I've had over the past 30 days or so. And I'm assuming you've had some awesome thoughts as well. And I would love to hear some of them. So do not hesitate to share them. But I just want to kind of encourage you as well, is that he always wants to commune with us. He always wants to communicate with us. So I highly recommend that you spend that time with him so you can hear him, and he will encourage you, because we're all here to continue to expand his goodness. And sometimes you need encouragement, and that's exactly what his word will do for you. You guys be blessed. I appreciate you guys' time. Look forward to seeing and hearing from you. Thanks.